Hey, laptop recruiter family, how we doing? How's that looking? Well, not looking too good as me. There we go. Okay, guys, so how we doing, everybody? Just want to chat about our plan, our vision, our goals, but essentially what we really should be talking about is what you're getting paid, what your dividend is, what it is in your bank, etc. Okay, so remove the elephant from the room. What we're really talking about is how much you're getting paid, when you're getting paid, what you're going to do with it, where that's going, etc. So, I've always been into planning. So I started off in investment banking and then systems engineering and project management, then program management, big projects. We have project plans in Microsoft Project, and if any of you have used that fucking sod of a system, you'll know, we used to have projects with like 10, 12,000 tasks in it, and you change one at a line 1,000, and then it would push everything out by 2 weeks at the bottom. Oh, mental. But I've always been into starting with the end in mind. Right from being a young boy. I used to be into athletics and football, but athletics I used to be quite good at. And I remember doing this championship. I'd gone through qualifying, and we got to the, it was the South West England, so essentially the one before the Nationals, and I'd won everything, and I thought I was going to just walk it. I came fourth, and then I was absolutely just distraught. And I wasn't a confident boy in those days. I was a very insecure boy. I was distraught, but I knew I trained so hard. My dad was in the army and I used to go running with him. He actually used to wear a gas mask halfway through and go, gas, gas, gas. But that's why I started running, but I knew I trained bloody hard. And I came fourth, got home, and then I got out my running diary and I made a fucking plan for the next 3 months. I said to myself, that will never happen again. I will never lose again. I did. I'm just not built to be that way. But anyway, the point here is I'm always into fucking planning and having a proven process to get an outcome. In that case, I used a guy called 𝐘𝐥𝐚𝐫, show my age here. He was an Olympic, I think, double gold athlete in the 80s, fuck me. But anyway, the point is it's about having an outcome. So in recruitment, one of the things that you should be aware of, and it's not just recruitment, it's about being an entrepreneur, is knowing what your plan is. What your plan is here. So one of the things that I've always invested in masterminds my entire life. As soon as I got into, or even when I worked in investment banking, I was reading books on stocks, shares, gilts, bonds, learn bonds in 5 minutes, whatever. I've always known that someone else knows the secret sauce, model them. What I've seen with entrepreneurs over the years, the successful ones, the guys are doing, they started with nothing and building multiple 8-figure businesses. They always keep things simple. They've generally got a rule of one. They've got a rule of one, one key process, but they know what their outcome is. And the outcome isn't a woo-woo outcome. It generally is a 3-year vision. In 3 years, I'm going to sell the business or have a cash machine. It's a 1 year plan, which is tactical. Then a 90-day campaign plan, and then a 30-day metrics plan. And that's what we operate to in our program. Well, the mastermind program, and then each level I expect that, but you're drilling deep at that point because you've been in business, you get it. So that understanding about what you're building here. So if you don't have that, what will happen is your months become the years, become the decades, etc., etc. So what's your outcome? What's your outcome here? So we want our members to be successful. So what is successful? So successful means whatever it means to you. And the elephant in the room, I always say this to a member is, right, remove all the shit about, well, I want to help people and I want to do this, whatever. What do you need to make in your recruitment business for you to satisfy your spouse, to satisfy your vision, whatever? What is it? Great. Right, if we can do this, then your next step would be, Andy, I want to change the model. I want to stop talking to clients. I want to be 100% remote. Now, for a lot of people, that's enforced now. And then you can talk about, the being more virtuous and right. I want to help people, because if you're not in business, you're not growing. You can't help candidates. So focus on the first step, which is getting paid and getting through this first 30 days, 90 days, year. Then you can talk about the bigger picture. So what's your plan? What's your plan here? So often, when someone joins us, they will complete an audit. If they join the mastermind program, they complete an audit document. And I say, if you take 60 to 90 minutes, that's good. If you take 10, 15 minutes, that isn't good. But from there, you can generally see what we're dealing with as a business and see where we're looking, where we're looking to move to. And invariably, we complicate things in our business. Now, if age is creeping up for you, and that, by the way, age creeping up for you might be getting to 30. It might be getting to 50. It might be getting to 80. Recently, I've spoken to a few new members who are in their 60s and their retirement plan's been completely fucked. So they're looking to create a 3, 4, 5 year business that they can either sell or have a cash machine and they can hand over. So what's your plan here? Because you should always reverse engineer the steps. Otherwise, what will happen is you're going to get into this treadmill mode. Now, the proof in this is the following. I've been doing this now for 10 years. I've been doing this 10 years. And if I go through the different different years or the different onboarding groups, etc., I think about one specific group. And it's not right now. I wish it was right now. It's not. Although we've got fantastic, some members having the best year, absolutely smashing it. But one particular group from a couple of years ago, what this group did, they did a few things. And two of the things they did was the following. Number one, we do a 30-day planning session. So every 30 days you plan your projects, the tasks. What does 80% look like? Not, what needs to happen. What's 8% look like? What are the obstacles? So we plan ahead what's going to go wrong, etc. Who's doing it? Then you've got a handover sheet. So, you don't do it. Someone else does it generally. But that 30-day planning, they did that religiously. And in that group, there are, there's a group of lads, well, men, it's a group of lads who've actually, I've got massive love to. They've actually, gone on to create software and all sorts based on some of the original strategies that, I shared inside the program. They actually said, listen, Andy, we want you to be on board as our marketing and salesperson. Then we'll do this, we do this. But I was focusing on my members. But this group at the time, they took that 30-day planning religiously. Every single end of 30 days, bam. The metrics, right, done, midnight done. Not, campaign's halfway through or what. No, how many leads, how many converted, how many appointments, how many TNCs signed, how many delivered, revenue, profit, end of 30 days. Now, of course, your timeline might be, you might have a 4-month timeline to get paid. So fucking what? You should always be bringing leads in, always be bringing candidates in. So that's a moot point. So that's one of the key things I've seen. They've worked to a plan, 30 days, 90 days, a year, 3 years. That's pivotal. So what's your outcome at 3 years? 1 year, because often what we think, right, in 1 year I can do all this, I'll do all this. And you know what? You don't, because it's like you go in, I've had a bad month. You're too soft on yourself. Or if you've had a good month, what if you repeated that and put 3 times the volume through next month and didn't piss about with shiny objects? What would happen? So the first thing is that control over 30 days, which means control over 7 days, over and over again. First thing. The second thing they've done is they've been part of a community. So, in the program they were in with myself in the mastermind, they didn't just ask questions, but they shared. So one of the reasons why I've always, well, not always, probably the last 8 years, I have pushed and have managed groups is because the learning's in the group. If I go back 8 years, some older members will testify to this. I do a Q&A webinar to my members for 8-9 hours because I gave a shit. I start at 2 p.m. I'm going at 10 p.m. I drive home and my newly wife is like, what the fuck are you doing? So what I was doing there, I was just trying to help everybody, you know, individually. That's wrong model. The fact is, everything you need to do, someone else has been through before. So the second thing with this is do not kill yourself trying to learn what you need to do. Someone's done it. Someone's done it. Now, whether it be with me or it be with someone else, someone's done what you need to do. And what that means is being accepting of learning from somebody else. Now, again, you shouldn't give two shits about that, because quite frankly, I couldn't give a shit. I always want to be the dumbest in the room. You know, I pay a fortune for a mastermind, fortune. And I'm by far the dumbest in that room. And it's glorious. It's glorious. And do you know the nuggets I've had over the years? It's being in the restaurant at night time. You know, I think about one example with a guy in the States. This guy dealt with lawyers in the United States. And what he told me over dinner, that created $250,000 in the following year. And it was just one little step in the process. So you don't know what you don't know. And the thing with recruitment and search and being an entrepreneur is you're too busy. And a phrase I was told years ago by a really cool guy, a recruitment business owner in London. He said to me, Andy, listen, love what you're saying, but for me to do this, I need to stop the car. But we're going 80 miles an hour. I can't stop the car. Well, you're always going to be going 80 miles an hour and you're never going to break that ceiling. So the second point is this. No, every pain you've got within reason has been done before. You know, it's very rare I speak to somebody and go, shit, it's the first time I've seen it. When it happens, like, quite frankly, I get excited because like, fuck yeah. But it rarely happens. Whether I was dealing with a startup, you know, a 300K business or an 8-figure business. So know this, everything you have now as a problem, you can fix. But revert back. Number one, what is your 3-year plan? What's your 1-year tactical plan, 90-day campaign plan, and 30-day metrics plan? And then be fucking hard on yourself. Don't let it drift over. Because at the end of the day, the only person who's going to see your bank balance is you. And, you know, the thing you need to make sure that you do, and, you know, this is just a human thing, is look in the mirror and say, I did my best. I did my best. But also know this, knowing someone else has done what you need to do. For me, if I've got a problem and I know someone else has done it, it's like English bloke talks too quickly, how to stop going grey. If someone solved that, I'm fucking happy. You know, my team will testify to this. They will testify to this. Like Christy says, she says you're weird. You're weird. You're weird because you love it when we've got a problem. No, I love it when we've got a problem, but we know what the problem is. Because if we know what the problem is, we can fix it. If we've got, because 99% of 99% of your business should be based on metrics. And if it's based on metrics, then you can make a decision. So knowing what the problem is should relate to the metric. So key performance metrics, key performance actions, KPIs, KPAs. So if you know what the problem is, then you can fix it. What I hate is not knowing what the problem is. So if you're accepting that you don't know it all, but you know you've got a problem, that's what the magic is. So with that said, it's tough doing what we're doing, but make sure you know your outcome in those 4 buckets. And know this, everything you've got as a problem has been done before. Be cool. Laptop Recruiter family, comments below, love to know. What's the biggest difficulty for you in terms of either planning or accepting you've got a problem and how to fix it?